Hi, everyone. Joel Phillips here, CEO of ProShark and Director of Technology at Strategic Advisor Board. Welcome back to the Ultimate Tech Talk. This is episode 17, where we start picking apart components of your digital footprint. Today, we're going to be looking at what is a CMS, which is what most websites are built on, as some type of content management system. The most famous of which is WordPress. They currently own about 42% of the market share, but their market share is in a declining state for several reasons. And not to pick on WordPress, it's a great platform. We used to develop all of our sites in WordPress. Well, I'll go back and give a little bit of a history on that, but WordPress is a very potent platform. However, there's some development components of WordPress that have caused us to look away from that platform as a viable website tool. But that's just the most famous one. Again, they own 42% of the market share. Other up and coming are Squarespace, Wix, and Shopify for e-commerce. WordPress, Duda is the platform that we use for particular reasons, and we'll go into some of those a little bit later. Most CMS systems are database driven. So in other words, they store all of your components in a database, and those database items are presented on a page as each page is loaded. There are several components that we need to look at with regard to content management system. The first and foremost is security. The second is performance. And there's a reason why those two things are critical. Just because of who they are, I'm going to pick on WordPress for just a few minutes. From a security perspective, it's almost impossible on a platform. This platform is a core hub of website presentation that's been developed open source. Most people don't realize it's open source. The thing about it is the plugins, which are what add the super feature rich content. So in other words, anything that you want to do with a WordPress site, you can do. But those features come from third-party developers that create plugins. And if you've been around WordPress at all, you understand plugins. And most CMS systems use plugins. It's the proper terminology. And I'm looking at the time thinking that we probably won't be able to get through the entire subject matter today, trying to keep these between 3 and 5 minutes. But let's look at security. At least we can get through security. So WordPress, when you start up a WordPress site, you connect your database, you create and connect a database, then you start adding plugins, you start adding all of the features to that WordPress website. Well, the first thing when you fire up a website, bots get notified that you fired up a WordPress website, and they will immediately, without fail, within 24 hours, they will immediately start hacking your website. And what they're looking for is people who use the default settings like administrator and who put in simple passwords. They'll try the simple passwords, and they'll continue to hit your website and try and log in. Why is that important? It's important, and most people say, well, I don't have customer data, I don't have the ability to, or I don't have any need to protect my content. But that's absolutely the farthest thing from the truth. Hostage taking of a website, ransomware, all of those depend on the hacker's ability to get into your website and take some form of control. The obvious things are, hacking, ransomware, which WordPress site, okay, maybe putting up a page that wasn't intended is not the end of the world. But when you have somebody come into a site and drop a piece of malicious code that you don't even know about, that's redirecting traffic off of your site, that's phishing, sending out phishing messages, that's doing some type of nefarious activity based on the fact that you've allowed them access and don't even know that they're there. That can be highly detrimental to your domain. It can be highly detrimental to your site, and it can lead to reputation damage for your site as it gets associated with hacking activity. So it is important that you secure your site. It is important that you don't allow, or you minimize to the best of your ability, you minimize the ability for somebody to come in and hack your site. That said, third-party plugins are the biggest hole, whether it be WordPress, whether it be any other platform. Third-party plugins, they're not completely vetted and security tested, or they're extremely detrimental and something that you need to take precaution against. Unfortunately, WordPress does what they can, but because these are third-party components, they don't vet them as thoroughly as they should. And these third-party plugins can go up on your site, and that is where the majority of hacking comes in with regard to WordPress. So that's all the time we've got for today. We've gone over again, so apologies for that. I think that we'll probably continue the security conversation tomorrow, episode 18. So please tune in for that. If you have any questions, please be sure and email techtip@proshark.com, TECHTIP@proshark.com, and we'll be happy to answer those for you. Thank you. Bye.